Yo, what's going on, man? Today is September the 24th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. We got two WNBA games on the board for today, and then we got we'll go through a quick recap as we always do, highlighting what happened in game number ones before we break down the two game number twos, and then we'll get out of here. It should be a quick and short show for today. With no further ado, let's just jump into it, man. Recap of Sunday. I made standalone videos for all of these games. Also made a standalone video for one of the games today, the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty. So if you guys are interested in, the in-depth analysis, go and watch that video. I think it's about 10 minutes long. I posted it last night. But yeah, Sunday was a really good day at the W. We took Jordan Canada under on her assists. We took Courtney Vandersloot under on her assists. Caitlin Clark under on her assists. Brittany Griner under on her points. And then Seattle team total under 78.5, all were winners. And if you guys were watching, a lot of people probably was watching NFL, but if you were watching the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty play on Sunday, Haley Jones misses a layup with about 5 seconds left that would have gave us the backdoor cover, and we would have had a perfect 6-0 sweep. But it is what it is. We take the 4 units of profit and definitely, just move forward, man. Just move forward. Some tricky game twos, but I'm interested to see if a couple people pop up in the comments, because there's a couple of these I want to talk about a little bit more. The games I want to talk about a little bit more in detail. Game twos are typically pretty tricky. It's not like the NBA where you just typically get a bounce back spot, but these teams are laying such a big line. So go through a couple of the comments real quick, and then we'll jump into the games for today. What up, AOD? Appreciate you for tapping in as always, bro. Helm says sick shirt. I didn't even know you can see my shirt. I guess I got the camera down a little bit. Yeah, it's a little W shirt. That's all. Alex says, let's get it. Time to cash today. What up, Peasy? What up, Devin? Good morning, Sarah. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Yeah, let's get to it, man. It's a little dark and gloomy. No sun over here. A little foggy outside in Virginia, but still trying to get to some money and cash some tickets today. First game up, we got the Dream and the Liberty. Game will be played in New York again, and total hasn't really moved a lot at all. This is the one game that the books kind of opened the line right back at what it was in game number one, the 12.5 and the 156.5. The total has come down just a tad bit since last night when I made the video. It's down to 155.5. It looked like it's the consensus, but there are some 156.5s out there as well. And like I said, the spread hasn't moved at all. Still 12.5. So for the Dream, this is the elimination game. If they do lose this game, they are done. If the New York Liberty win, then they are, of course, advancing. But if the Liberty lose, they play in Atlanta for game number 3. So I had this pulled up. Let me see if I can pull it up again real quick. And I also shared some notes on this game. Let's see if I can get back to it really quickly for you guys. All right. So let's see. All right, cool. All right, I got back to it. So when I would look back at what happened in game one, here's the facts and opinion page. You guys can see that the game was played at a really slow pace. It's odd to think that it was played at such a slow pace because the Liberty, had 48 points at halftime. But it was played at a slow pace. 79.7 pace was the game. And the Dream were the slowest team in the WNBA throughout the full season. 90.03 was their pace. That, and I talked about it in the video last night, that leads me towards another under. I know that their team total is only 72.5 for this game. And I think the Liberty's team total was like 84.5. But the Liberty can win this game with their defense. They literally just did this. And that's why the game went under in game number one. I kind of feel like the Liberty are still capable of playing the defense that they played in the last game, which would lead me to another under in this spot. I also think that Atlanta scored 69 points in the last game. I also think that the Liberty won't shoot the ball as well as they did in the last game. They shot 35% from the three-point line, but if you go in and look at it, let's just look at first half, because I know that they kind of cooled off in the second half. If you look at the first half specifically, the Liberty shot 50% from the three-point line. And a lot of it was Phoebus in the first half. She was 5 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Sabrina added 2 threes. And I think Atlanta's defense is a little bit better than that. So in the video I made last night, I really, really strong lean towards that first half under. 78.5 was the number. It finished right at 78 last night. I'm sorry, in game number 1, because the Atlanta Dream offense looked terrible, which I think we can see a repeat performance of that. They scored 16 points in the first quarter and just 14 points in the second quarter. So they had 30 at halftime. I think we see a much better effort from the defense on the defensive end from the Dream, and I think the Liberty don't shoot that well from the field early. So I like the first half under 78.5. Since I looked at this last night, I talked about it in the video. It has come down. It's 178.5 left. It's over on BetMGM, minus 115. I think I want to go ahead and lock that in as I just kind of talk it out even more, because 77.5 on all the other books. That's what I'm liking here. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one before I talk about a player prop that I'm looking at as well. Good morning, Clippers. Alex says he take the Dream plus 12.5. What up to my guy Justin? Drop a dime since he likes the under 156.5 as well. So some alignment there. Helms thinks the Liberty start early again. First half minus the 4.5. Okay. Drop a dime since Canada under her assist again. Yeah, I talked about this too. I love Canada go under her 5.5 assists. They did juice it a little bit, but it's not unplayable in my opinion. It's minus 125 was the number on Jordan Canada under her assist. So for people who didn't watch the game, Jordan Canada didn't even play the fourth quarter. Coach Tanisha Wright didn't play any of the starters in the fourth quarter. And I'm not sure if we see that again, but I think she was just kind of looking for something. And the bench actually played better. If you go in the fourth quarter, the bench, that was the only quarter that the Atlanta Dream won. They won 20-14. And I think that the Liberty got the better bench, but yeah, Atlanta, their bench did come in. You got some play from Maya Caldwell, Haley Jones. Yeah, they got some really good play from their bench and ended up scoring 20 points. Not to say that Jordan Canada can't go ahead and get 6 dimes, but I like the under in this spot as well. So I'm probably going to run that one back too, dropping dimes. Probably be a smaller play this time because I hit it on the first game, but sometimes you got to run it back. I think this is the time to run it back for sure. What up, Prolific? He says, let's get to it. Nick Foster says, morning, Chris. Been watching you all season. Just never commented. Appreciate your dedication, brother. Let's get to it. Appreciate that, Nick. Appreciate that for sure, man. Hopefully we can find some more winners here. I think I found 2, if I'm being honest. Aaron says, Liberty and a massive blowout in this spot. So to this point, I won't pull this up on the screen, but I just want to share this with you guys because this was something that I looked into as well. Let's see. So I'm going to give me the dog. And I'm just looking at and I'm looking at teams since the 2020 season. Not that all these trends matter, right? We know it's a situational league, but teams since the 2020 season, so 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, the home favorite in game 2 are 14-1 straight up, 13-2 against the number, winning by an average of 13 points per game. Now that's not a lot, not a large margin when you talk about this point spread, of course. But 14-1 and 13-2 straight up makes me only want to look towards the favorite. They've also covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight times. And let's just add that they also won the previous game. 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. Says that they win by an average of 20 points per game. Says that the Liberty smoke them in this spot. Let's just take this trend back to 2015. 8-3 straight up, 8-3 to the over, 10-1 straight up. It's a pretty strong trend that says that the favorites just come out here and smash again, is what these numbers are saying. Yeah, I definitely think the Liberty win. I'm just not sure if it's going to be by 13 points. What up, G421? He says, what up, Chris? ChrisBeCappinn. He says, playoff ChrisBeCappinn. Skylar Diggins to go off is what he likes in the next game. Okay. Yeah, first half under 78.5. Only available right now on BetMGM. It looks like the total is dropped everywhere else. And then I like Jordan Canada to go under on her. I like Jordan Canada to go under on her assist again as well. The last thing I want to mention was, and I talked about this in the video last night before we move on to the next one, is Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard is a certified bucket getter. She's a hooper. She definitely can get buckets, but it's a tough matchup for Ryan Howard. I was watching this game on Sunday, and the Liberty were just much more physical. Tanisha Wright talked about it in the post-game interview. She said they punched us in the mouth as we kind of expected them to. And I know Ryan Howard, that's maybe a bounce back spot for Ryan Howard, but I was looking into it, and I'm expecting the Liberty to continue to play really good defense. Like I said, they only gave up 69 points. Specifically, Ryan Howard, she shot 5 for 14 from the field, played 29 minutes, so played pretty much every minute outside of the fourth quarter when none of the starters played. She finished with 14 points. And when I was looking into this last night, you look at her in the other contests that she's played against the Liberty this season. She had 11 points when they played on June the 6th on 5 for 11 shooting. And then that was the only other time that she played against the Liberty so far this season. I just kind of feel like, and then the last game of the season, she had 13 points in that game on 4 for 10 shooting. I just kind of feel like she gets a really bad matchup because Benajelani Hamilton's a really good defender if people watch Benajelani Hamilton play. So I do like, I kind of like Ryan Howard. And that's where it gets tricky because when I get into these player props, I don't want to play a bunch of them, but I kind of feel like Ryan Howard goes under. Her points prop was pretty high. I think it was 16.5, 17.5. I think she goes under. I think Jordan Canada goes under on assists, and I like the first half under in this game, if anything at all. Let's see. Ski says, I'm starting to feel like the Ace is going to smash. They're Curry active on them, right? Yeah, it is. It is, Ski. I'm going to talk about that one again when I got to that game because it definitely fits the mold. And I think that's the perfect segue. We'll get into that game in just a second. Helm says he liked the Aces -8 as well. G4321 says they sound like Howard in the first half, but adjustments will be made. Dream got to win this one. I don't think Dream winning this one, but I couldn't. I talked about really liking the plus 12.5. I think that the Dream could cover just because it's a big number, and whenever you get a number like almost 2 touchdowns. Like a backdoor cover is always on the table. And that's what we almost got. Like I said, one Haley Jones, a layup away in the fourth quarter from getting a backdoor cover in that game. So, I think we did a pretty good job on this one. Let's go to the next one. We got the Storm and the Aces. This line is 7.5. And let's see real quick. So 7.5, 160 is the total. This total has come down just a tad bit. If you check out the injury report, the Aces injury report is still the same, while the Storm don't have anybody on the injury report, which means that Ezzy McMillan will return. Ezzy hasn't played a game in about a week and a half. She was out with a concussion after getting hit in the face in that game against the Dallas Wings. So now you get Ezzy back on the floor. I think that helps the defense a lot. And I do kind of feel like this game, the only reason I didn't take the under, we were on Seattle team total under 78.5. It was a great fourth quarter by the Aces defense. They finally, stepped up to play, allowed no field goals. And I think just 2 free throws from Skylar Diggins-Smith in the fourth quarter to keep this team under the 78.5 total. And they also ended up covering the full game as well. It has to be devastating to lose the game the way that Seattle did. And I'm not sure what happens in that spot because of that. I do think that the Aces are starting to find their stride. The defense is absolutely coming to play. I think they're 13-0 to the under in the first half in their last 13 games because even after scoring, just 9 points in the first quarter? They were losing 18-9 at the end of the first quarter. They dropped 29 in the second quarter, 26 in the third quarter. And then they only needed 14 points to still win the fourth quarter by 12. So do I think that that's going to repeat itself? No. But here's what I always say about the Storm, and I think it's going to hold true in this spot. Getting Ezzy back is not going to help them from being able to shoot the basketball. Seattle was the worst three-point shooting team. I went through this in some really good depth on Sunday when I talked about, the Seattle team struggling to score the basketball and liking their team total under. That paired with the Aces defense, I think just lends itself towards an under in that spot. So now getting Edgy back, I think that helps the defense, but I don't think it helps the offense at all. This Seattle team shot the ball really poor again from the three-point line, and they were actually hitting at the beginning, but they still finished the game just 4 for 16, 25%. This is the worst three-point shooting team since the Olympic break, worst three-point shooting team over the full season, worst three-point shooting team on the road. I just don't feel like when you double Nneka, which is what they did in the second half, to make Jewel Lloyd, who's clearly not 100%. I think she finished with just what did Jewel Lloyd have? 6 points on 2 for 8 shooting. She's not 100%. It was her first game back after missing 3 games because of the knee issue, and that put a lot of pressure on Skylar Diggins-Smith. Also, Gabby Williams, who's been really, really good. I love what Gabby brings to the table, but Gabby, her job is to really kind of slow down Jackie as much as she possibly can. You got an absolute dud of a game from Kelsey Plum. She was terrible, but Tiff Hayes came in off the bench and kind of saved her, rescued the day. I just kind of feel like it's difficult for me not to want to take the Aces again in this spot. Like I said, I didn't play the Aces on the spread, but it kind of feels like they can win this game, man. Seattle was, I think it was 4-2 on the number as a road dog this season. That was one thing that kind of kept me off. Seattle should have covered the game. They probably should have won it too, but like I said, you just really can't trust them offensively. They got to be able to address their shooting. And I don't think it's nothing that Noelle Quinn's going to be able to do, honestly. This was with Jordan Horsted having a great game, too. She had 10 points off the bench. Mercedes Russell had 12 rebounds and 8 points in her start. And they dominated the offensive rebounds. They had 10 offensive rebounds in this game as well. I don't think all that's going to repeat itself. The Aces only had 6 offensive rebounds. They shot 43% from the field. And like I said, Kelsey Plum, 2 points on 1 for 8 shooting. It just feels like the Aces should turn up in this spot. I kind of like the Aces, and I kind of want to lay the points with them here. Lisa Clark set 7 points off the bench. Tiff Hayes, 20 points. I still think that Seattle struggles to score. So even with their team total coming down, I think that would be my top look in this game. Just Seattle to continue to struggle to score. I also think Jewel Lloyd, like I said, not 100%. I think that they could. I think Jewel Lloyd struggles to score in this spot as well. I don't see her necessarily having a big bounce back spot because I do think that knee injury is, affecting her a lot in this spot. So right now, Seattle team total is 76.5. I see some juice on it at -125 over on ESPN Bet, but it's 75.5 everywhere else. I kind of think that could happen for sure. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. And I didn't even get to this, but it really doesn't matter because I still got the stuff here, but it doesn't matter. Dropping Dime says she likes Tina Charles to not get a double-double in this spot. Okay. Helm says, I tell that Tina no double-double from Scott and Rel too. Dropping Dimes. Okay. Tina Charles, no double-double. He says he likes it a lot. Jacob says, I'm a tease Liberty and Aces 13-point monster on DFK. Liberty under and Aces over. I never tease when it comes to basketball, but that's just me. Ski says 9-point quarter from the Aces, 2-point quarter from the Storm. I wouldn't count on that again, even with the 2 good defenses. Yeah, and to Ski's point right here, when you look at it, the Storm like to play fast. They were top. They actually played faster than the Aces did. When I go in and just look at these 2 teams as far as pace, just real quick to put some numbers behind what Ski is saying. Seattle finished the season last 5 games and for the full season, both. They finished number 3 in pace, whereas the Aces finished the season 4th in pace, but over the last 5 games, they were just 7th. So, yeah, I kind of feel like this one can sneak up and over, but I'm not trusting Seattle to score the basketball, though. Helm says under in the Aces. That sounds like a Seattle team total under. What up, Jose? Appreciate you for tapping in. Ski says Storm coach sounded and looked defeated in the postgame interview. As she should have, Ski. Bro, I was watching the game like, there's no way possible Seattle is not going to score another bucket. And the Aces just turned up. Like I said, a lot of it was double and Nneka, though. Like, if I go back and look at it just real quick to add some context to that, Nneka she had 13 points in the first half, 6 for 12 shooting. You could tell the goal was to get her, involved in the offense. Skylar Diggins-Smith was 3 for 8 from the field, but Nneka shot 12 times in the first half. Like I said, she had 13 points. But then if you look at the second half specifically, they started doubling Nneka. Nneka didn't score in the second half. 0 for 5 from the field, didn't score a point in the second half. So, yeah, I mean, that's the one, kind of advantage that they have, unless you put Asia Wilson. If you put Asia Wilson on Nneka, and, that doesn't bode well for the Aces being able to rebound the basketball, because Asia is, by far their best rebounder. So, yeah, I can imagine them being defeated. What up, Cup of Joe? Helm says Noel Quinn is a horrible coach. Storm win WNBA championship, James says. Okay. Touching a light parlay, Gray and Skylar Diggins, 12 points and 5 dimes, Cup of Joe says. Okay. Ski says send a query for the game. Not a huge sample, but makes sense to me. He DM'd it to me. Let me go to Twitter real quick and see what Ski sent me. Appreciate you sharing, Ski. Let's see what Ski got for me. All right, so Ski sent. Bro, I don't see anything. It just, hold on. Am I tripping? Yeah, it don't say nothing. It just say season equals 2024. When I clicked on it, but it's taking me to NFL too. So I don't know. Maybe it just didn't send the correct way. Try to DM it to me again, Ski. I clicked on it 3 times now. It just says season equal 2024, and it's got NFL stuff. It's under the NFL query in Killer Sports. He says for the Aces to come back from down 10 and win by double digits, pretty telling to me. And I agree. I do agree with that, Ski. I think his Aces are nothing for me as well. The other thing, as far as the impact of Ezzy, she could be super, rusty in this game. That wouldn't surprise me at all if she was super rusty. Because, like I said, she hasn't played in over a week and a half, and now you're playing against the defending champs, the 2-time defending champs. It's not going to be easy for her to be to get into playoff form, not having any time to kind of gel with her team. All right, so let's see. I got your DM now, Ski. Let me go back to it real quick. All right, so what Ski sent me says, oh, I was thinking about this too, Ski. So Ski sent me a query that says, so it's in the playoffs, a team that's blew a 10-point lead, and they end up losing the game, and the previous game was in the playoffs, and they previously lost by 10 points, says that they end up getting rolled in the next one. So it is a super small sample, just 1-3 straight up, but they're 1-3 against the number as well. Let's see, do they struggle to score or struggle to defend? It's only happened 4 times. 2017, 2019, both was losses. Sky beat the Sun, but that was in 2021. And then the Dream got smoked by the Wings in this spot as well, losing that game by 20. What is that? 27. So that makes a lot of sense. I just think you got to get a little bit more from Kelsey Plum, but I don't expect Seattle to be able to score the basketball as much as they did in the first half. And that was something that Asia talked about at halftime as well. In the first half, just real quick, in the first half of the game, the Seattle shot 45% from the floor. And I just don't think that they're going to shoot 45% from the floor again. Like I said, a lot of it was Nneka, but then they started doubling her. Mercedes Russell had 6 points at half. Jordan Horston had 8 points at half. Like, I just don't see that repeating itself. What up, Mark? Aaron says, Chris, I'm taking the under total on this game. Yeah, get in while you can because it's dropping. It's still dropping. What up, Mitchell? He says, good morning, guys. Top of the morning. I like the Aces here to cover after that slow first quarter. By the way, Commanders quarterback is the truth. Bright future. Shout out to Jaden Daniels, man. Shout out to my guy, Jaden Daniels. Atlanta team total over, Sean says. Andrew says, yeah, Aces win and cover. Asia to hit her rebounds. She didn't hit it in the first game, but she'll need to cash them here. Liberty cover again. I think so, Mr. Humble says. No play on the spread for me. CG says Canada under 10.5 points and Diggins over her 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Yeah, that's exactly what he said, Mark. 1, 2, 3 Cancun says Ski. for the Seattle Storm, and I kind of agree with that. Helm says Commanders money line fed last night. Yeah, boy. It really wasn't. The Commanders offense is kind of stagnant at times, but I mean, if you're not gonna get pressure on Jaden Daniels and you're just gonna let him stand back there and pick you apart, the Commanders gonna have a great season if they keep playing defenses like that. Like I done watched every game, from start to finish because I'm a Commanders fan. Y'all pray for me, but I feel good this morning. I feel pretty good this morning. The Bengals, you just don't want to trust them as favorites, clearly. Probably should have won last week against Kansas City. They get, pretty much got smoked last night. Defense couldn't get off the field last night at all. Jaden Daniels, highest completion percentage for a rookie in NFL history last night, above 90%. Scary Terry caught a couple deep balls downfield. Looked good last night, man. What up, Mike says, so you all think everyone gonna get swept except the Fever. I don't know about the Storm up 2 tonight. I don't know about that. Storm up tonight. Okay, Mike likes the Storm. First person I seen liking the Storm. And no pass rush at all, Helms. It's bad, man. They can't stop the run. They can't get any pressure on Jaden Daniels. And the Commanders got a bottom 10 offensive line, but I mean, it looks pretty good, man. It looks pretty good. Shout out to Scary Terry, man. I like Scary Terry a lot. He's such a professional. Been played with about 100 quarterbacks in his short NFL career. Never complains about not getting the ball. And then he capitalizes last night. They're kind of building chemistry too, man. Don't look now. Commanders 2-1 in the NFC East. Oh, man. All right. That's enough of that. All right. So let's get into a quick recap. I got to get off here, man. I'm rambling at this point. The Aces, going back to the first game, the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty, like I said, the first half 78.5 is only available on BetMGM right now. So if you like it, you definitely want to get in. But I just think that, like I said, I'm not expecting the Liberty to shoot 45% from the three-point line in the first half. Like I said, Phoebus played really, really well. I think she had 15 points at halftime. And I think Atlanta's going to still struggle to score as well. I think this game will be played really, really slow, just as the first one was. So I like that first half under 78.5, probably more than I like anything from a side or a totals perspective. Jordan Canada stayed under 5.5 assists. We cashed on this in game one. She finished with 4. And I think I'm going to run that back. I think minus 125 was the juice, but I think I'll play that. It's probably a smaller play, but I like that one. I talked about Ryan Howard not scoring 18 points against this New York Liberty team in any of the 3 games that she's played against them so far. 18 is just a big number, especially when you got Benaje Laney-Hamilton guarding you. And if Benaje Laney is not guarding her, then it's going to be Stewie. So they're going to put a lot of length on Ryan Howard and make her really, really work, which is why I think Atlanta only scored 69 points in their last game. And then, like I said about Jewel Lloyd, I just kind of feel like it could be a bounce back spot for Jewel Lloyd. I just don't think that she's 100% quite yet. She was dealing with that knee injury. She kind of, staggered into the starting lineup and played in the game on Sunday, but she wasn't herself, in my opinion. She finished the game with I think she had 6 points or 4 points or something like that. So yeah, I kind of like Jewel Lloyd to struggle. I think, Skylar Diggins-Smith is going to have to pick it up offensively. They're going to need a little bit more from NECA. They're going to need a little bit more from Gabby Williams. And, Sammy Wickham actually should probably play too. But she probably won't just because she can't guard anybody. So I think, Seattle still struggles to score. Kind of like that game to go under, but I think I'm going to stay off the total in that one and just play Jewel Lloyd probably under her 16.5 points. Jewel Lloyd finished with just 6 points on 2 for 8 shooting, and she played 25 minutes, the fewest of any of the starters in that game on Sunday. So these are the things that I'm liking the most. I haven't made an official play yet, but this is the short list, and I'm thinking that these are all pretty good looks. I'm probably not playing Jordan Canada and Ryan Howard unders, but we went 3-0 on unders I think we went 4-0 on unders on Sunday. The playoffs are here is meaningful basketball, man. I'm not looking towards a lot of overs, unless it's Nafisha Collier to kill the Phoenix Mercury. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. That's the show. Resources that I use to handicap the games are always here for you guys if you're interested in checking these out. Referral code CBC will get you 20% off your first month subscription over on OddsJam, sports betting software that I use to handicap to just kind of find the best odds on the screen page. And then I send them out to the members when I lock my plays in. And Moneyballer, 50% off using code ChrisBeCappinn over there. Really, really great resource. I always talk about it. Not going to give you guys too much of a spiel today, but definitely check them out. And if you don't like it, you can always cancel after your first month. But at this time of the year, Moneyballer saves you so much time, just kind of handicapping the game. So check out Moneyballer. Use that code ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's and 2 N's to get 50% off your first month. And that'll be the show for today. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button on the way out. Share the show, subscribe to the channel. Best of luck on all your action. Link for my official plays is in the description of the video, as it always is. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Y'all have a great Tuesday. Come on.